Success, it's something every single one of us desires, isn't it? But here's the truth that often gets ignored. Success isn't something you chase. It's not about running after it endlessly. True success is something you attract by transforming into the kind of person who draws it naturally. You see, chasing success without becoming that person often leads to frustration, exhaustion, and disappointment. The harder you run after it, the more it slips away. But when you work on yourself, your habits, your character, your mindset, you stop chasing. Success begins to come toward you. So let me ask you, who are you becoming? That's the starting point. You may wonder, what does it mean to be someone who attracts success? It begins with refining your character, strengthening your habits, and sharpening your thinking. Success gravitates towards certain qualities: discipline, perseverance, integrity, generosity. It's drawn to people who create value, who are committed to growth, and who never stop improving. It's attracted to men and women who are intentional, who live with purpose, who set meaningful goals and carry a vision in their hearts. And that brings us to goals. You cannot expect to attract success without clearly defined goals. You need a destination. Far too many people drift aimlessly through life with no clear direction, then wonder why success never arrives. The answer is simple. Success doesn't show up for the wanderers. It comes to those who know exactly what they want and are willing to pay the price to achieve it. And what is that price? Time, effort, sacrifice, discipline. But before anything else, you must take the first step, decide what you want. If I asked you right now, what is your 5-year goal? Could you answer with confidence, clarity, and conviction? If not, then I can tell you, you're not yet on the path to attracting success. Clarity produces action, and action produces results. When you know what you want, the path forward becomes visible. Not easy, not smooth, but clear enough to move forward. And that's what matters. Success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from consistent, disciplined action, especially when things get hard. And trust me, they will get hard. But here's the principle: tough times don't last. Tough people do. And that's why becoming the kind of person who attracts success matters so much. You've got to grow stronger, smarter, more resilient. The bigger the dream, the bigger the obstacles. But those obstacles don't come to destroy you. They come to shape you, to prepare you, to make you tougher. Years ago, I was flat broke at age 25. Nothing in my pockets, nothing in my bank account, and little hope for the future. But then I met a mentor, Mr. Schoaf. He told me something that hit me like lightning. Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. That moment shifted everything. I had been waiting for my situation to improve, waiting for luck, waiting for circumstances. But the truth was, it wasn't about my environment. It was about me. I was the problem, but I was also the solution. From then on, I made a decision to work harder on myself than anything else. I read books, attended seminars, sought out guidance, and built new habits. And slowly, my life began to shift. Why? Because I was shifting. And here, the key: success is something you attract by becoming a different version of yourself. When I changed, opportunities appeared. When I changed, the right people showed up. When I changed, everything around me shifted. But it all began with me. Now let's talk about habits, because habits are the foundation of success. Your future is hidden in your daily routines. You can have the greatest intentions, but if your habits don't align with your goals, you'll never reach them. Take fitness, for example. You can dream of being healthy and strong, but if you eat junk and avoid exercise, you won't get there. The same is true in every area of life. Success requires success habits. What are those habits? Reading, planning, acting, reviewing progress, rising early, staying focused, and most importantly, being consistent. That's where many people fail. Success isn't about occasional greatness. It's about steady discipline. Consistency is hard. It's easy to be motivated for a day or a week. But can you stay committed for months or even years? That's where transformation happens, in the quiet, daily, consistent effort. But habits alone aren't enough. You also need the right mindset. Your mind is the soil in which everything grows. If it's filled with doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs, success won't take root. You have to believe in your ability to grow into the person success is attracted to. Belief doesn't guarantee success, but without it, success is impossible. It's the foundation. You must believe your life can improve, that your future can outshine your past. As the saying goes, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Your beliefs set the direction of your reality. If you think you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. But if you think growth is possible, you'll grow. That's why mindset is critical. And how do you shift it? By feeding your mind with the right input. Guard what you consume. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, pessimism, and fear, it will seep into your thinking. But if you immerse yourself in uplifting influences, inspirational books, empowering mentors, your mindset will transform. You'll begin to think differently, act differently, and attract different outcomes. And let's not forget relationships. Who you spend time with determines who you become. If your circle is negative, unambitious, and comfortable with mediocrity, it will be nearly impossible to reach success. You must choose your associations wisely. Spend time with those who challenge you, uplift you, and push you forward. Surround yourself with dreamers, doers, and achievers. As the old saying goes, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. When I began my own journey, I noticed something. As I grew, some old friendships faded. Not everyone was willing to walk the same path, and that's okay. But it taught me a lesson. Not everyone will join you on the road to success. Some people will remain where they are, and you must be willing to move forward anyway. Every relationship is a force. It either pulls you up or drags you down. Be honest with yourself. Are your relationships fueling your growth or draining it? If you want to attract success, align your connections with your ambitions. When I connected with Mr. Schoaf, he introduced me to a new environment. I met people who were already successful, people who thought big, acted boldly, and lived with discipline. They believed in abundance. Their optimism rubbed off on me. That's the power of environment. Success leaves clues. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Study those who have achieved what you want. Observe their habits, routines, and mindset. Follow the right patterns and success becomes predictable. Finally, let's talk about value. Success is not attracted to people who merely exist. It's drawn to people who add value. And the more value you add, the more success comes your way. Adding value means solving problems, helping others, and contributing more than you consume. It means leaving things better than you found them. And when you become a person of value, success becomes inevitable. Successful people are, above all, problem solvers. They constantly look for ways to improve their surroundings. Instead of bringing complaints, they bring solutions. Where others see obstacles, they see opportunities. So ask yourself, how can I create more value? How can I take on bigger challenges? How can I contribute more at work, in business, or within my community? Because the moment you become someone who provides value, people begin to look for you. Opportunities will naturally find their way to your door. Why is that? Because the world always rewards those who give more than they take. Remember this truth. The size of your success is directly linked to the size of the problems you solve. Solve small problems and you'll achieve small success. Solve large, impactful problems and you'll draw large, meaningful success. But here's something else you must keep in mind. Becoming a person of value doesn't only mean solving external challenges. It also means working on yourself, your integrity, your character, your principles. People who achieve lasting success are those who live by strong values. They don't cut corners, they don't cheat, they don't deceive. They live and operate with honesty. Why? Because trust is the very foundation of all success. If people cannot trust you, you will not go far. Sure, you might achieve short-term gains through dishonesty or shortcuts, but they will never last. True, Long-lasting success is built on trust, so be the kind of person others can believe in. Mr. Schoaf once told me something that shaped my life. He said, "Jim, the way you do anything is the way you do everything." Think about that. If you cut corners in one area of your life, that habit will leak into every other area. If you are dishonest in one situation, eventually that dishonesty will seep into the rest of your life. You cannot separate your character. So, if you want to become the kind of person who naturally attracts success, start by paying attention to the small things. Are you keeping your promises? Do you follow through on your commitments? Do you give your best effort even when nobody is watching? Because it's those small daily choices that build your character, and ultimately, your character is what attracts or repels success. Now let's shift to one of the most important qualities of all, discipline. Without discipline, you simply cannot go far. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. It's the strength to keep moving forward after the initial excitement has faded. It's the ability to stick to your plan and stay focused, even when distractions surround you. And let me tell you, there will always be distractions. There will always be things pulling you off course. But discipline is what keeps you steady. It's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful, the winners from the quitters. Most people give up when life gets difficult, but those who achieve success, they continue moving forward. They exercise discipline even when they don't feel like it. Because success isn't about emotions, it's about principles. It's about doing what is right day after day, whether you feel motivated or not. And here's the truth. Discipline doesn't come naturally for most people. It certainly didn't for me. But the good news is this: discipline is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. You can develop discipline just like you develop physical strength in the gym. It begins with small decisions. Maybe you get up 30 minutes earlier than usual. Maybe you stick with your workout when you'd rather skip it. Maybe you finish that project at work, even though you feel tired. Every time you choose discipline, you're strengthening that muscle, and over time it gets easier. But here's something even deeper. Discipline is a form of self-respect. When you discipline yourself to do what you know is right, you're showing that you value yourself. You're saying, "I am worth the effort. My goals are worth the effort." And when you respect yourself, others begin to respect you as well. That's another secret to attracting success. People are naturally drawn to those who respect themselves and who set high standards for their own behavior. So if you want success to find you, raise your standards. Demand more of yourself. Refuse to settle for mediocrity. Now let's add another powerful principle: patience. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's not an event but a process. The problem is that most people get frustrated because they expect instant results. But the truth is, success is like planting a seed. You don't plant today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, and give it time to grow. The same is true for success. You must be patient. You must keep working, keep improving, keep taking action, even when the results aren't immediate. Patience doesn't mean sitting idle. It means trusting the process while continuing to take steps forward. It means understanding that even slow progress is still progress. Unfortunately, many people quit too soon. They fail to see the harvest because they didn't wait long enough to reap the rewards. Success belongs to those who are willing to wait, to stay the course, to keep going no matter what. Patience is rare in today's fast-paced world. We're surrounded by instant gratification, instant messages, instant access, instant results. But real, lasting success is never instant. It's built slowly, steadily, brick by brick. That's why patience is so critical. There's an old saying, haste makes waste. When you rush through the process, you miss the lesson, you skip the growth, and ultimately, you lose the success. But patience isn't passive. It means continuing to put in effort, trusting that your work will compound over time. That's the principle of compounding. The small things you do consistently build into massive results. Just like watering a seed every day, eventually it grows into a strong tree. The same is true for your success. Every effort, every disciplined action, every small improvement compounds. That's why patience plus consistency creates unstoppable momentum. Now let's talk about a close companion to patience, persistence. If patience is the willingness to wait, persistence is the determination to keep going regardless of challenges. And the truth is life will test you. Obstacles will appear. Setbacks will come. You cannot attract success without persistence. There will be failures. There will be times when you'll wonder if the struggle is worth it. But let me assure you of one thing I've learned. Persistence always pays. Always. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't usually comes down to a single factor, persistence. The most successful people aren't always the most intelligent or the most gifted, but they are almost always the ones who refuse to quit. They don't allow setbacks to define them. They keep pressing forward, no matter how tough the journey becomes. So let me ask you, are you willing to fail on your way to success? Are you willing to keep going when things don't unfold the way you expected? Because here's the truth, if you lack persistence, success will remain out of reach. You need resilience. You need grit. You need the determination to rise every time you fall. Success doesn't belong to the one who never stumbles. It belongs to the one who never stays down. And when life knocks you flat, as it will, your job is simple. Get up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. That's how you draw success closer. Now here's another dimension of persistence. It's not only about working hard, it's also about working smart. Persistence without direction is like running endlessly on a treadmill full of effort but no progress. Real persistence means having a clear purpose. It means setting a plan, following a roadmap, and being ready to adjust along the way. Often, when something isn't working, the problem isn't your effort, it's your approach. True persistence isn't about doing the same thing over and over and expecting new results. It's about staying committed to your goal while staying flexible in your methods. And that's another mark of those who attract success, adaptability. They're not trapped by rigid thinking. They're open to fresh ideas, to new perspectives, to different ways of approaching problems. And that matters because the world is constantly shifting. What worked yesterday may fail tomorrow. To succeed, you must be willing to evolve, to grow, to learn, and to embrace new opportunities. The more adaptable you become, the more success you'll draw toward yourself. When I first began in business, I had a very fixed idea of how things should unfold. I thought if I simply worked hard enough, everything would align. But life didn't follow my script. My strategies didn't always succeed. My business didn't always grow the way I envisioned. And I had a choice: keep stubbornly pushing the same way or adapt. Thankfully, I chose to adapt. I began learning new approaches to marketing, fresh ways to connect with people, smarter ways to manage my time and resources. And that flexibility made all the difference. Success didn't arrive in the form I expected. It came because I was willing to change, to adjust, to evolve. So ask yourself, when life throws a curveball, are you flexible enough to change your approach? Are you willing to try something different when the old way stops working? Because life rarely goes exactly according to plan. Unexpected challenges and surprises are guaranteed. But those who attract success are the ones ready to adjust. They don't let obstacles stop them. They find alternative routes. They don't cling to outdated strategies. They embrace new ones. They keep their eyes on the ultimate goal, but they remain flexible in how they reach it. And here's one of the most powerful keys to attracting success: the power of a positive attitude. If you want success to come your way, you must cultivate positivity. And I don't mean blind optimism or ignoring reality. I mean a mindset that looks for opportunities in the middle of problems. A mindset that refuses to give in to discouragement, no matter how difficult things become. Because here's the truth. A positive attitude acts like a magnet for success. When you're positive, you naturally attract positive people, positive opportunities, and positive results. But negativity does the opposite. It pushes all those things away. Trying to succeed with a negative mindset is like trying to grow flowers in a garden full of weeds. It just doesn't work. A positive outlook doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. It means choosing to focus on solutions instead of problems. It means finding the lessons hidden in every challenge. It means holding on to hope when the situation feels hopeless. And here's the beauty of it. Staying positive in adversity not only helps you attract success, it also shapes your character. And character is what sustains success. Because success without character is hollow. But success built on a foundation of strong character, that's the kind of success that lasts. So how do you build this positive outlook? By controlling your focus. If you dwell on what's wrong, what's missing, or what's broken, you'll feel defeated. But if you focus on what's right, on what's possible, and on what you already have, you'll feel empowered. It's really that simple. What you focus on expands. So start shifting your focus to the good. Train yourself to spot the silver lining in every situation. And above all, practice gratitude. Because gratitude is the gateway to positivity. The more grateful you are for what you have, the more space you create for greater blessings to flow into your life.